idolizing Derek Jeter, as did Aaron Judge, who told me that what a day for them to be up here. Maybe there's a little bit of a core developing. Gary Sanchez, we've seen what he can do. Aaron Judge is here. He's playing right field probably as much as he can until the rest of the year. And Tyler Austin at first base, the only one that would have been a little bit. Greg Bird hadn't gotten hurt, he would have been here also. So just maybe. Tyler Austin telling me that it's remarkable that he is here on the day they're honoring the 96 team, the team that he grew up watching as a little boy, and a really little boy, and idolizing Jeter. Aaron Judge, why does he wear number 99? Well, I'll tell you, because that's what they gave him in his first spring training, and that's what he's going to keep, because it reminds him of who he is and how hard he's worked to get here. Aaron Judge, they just called him up last night at midnight when they found out that Brett Gardner was hurt and wasn't going to be able to play today. But trust me, he's not going back. They're going to find out. As long as he's here, he's going to play, and Brian Cashman told me he's going to play every day. So here we go. And as Logan Forsythe steps up to the plate, stepping up to the microphone is the voice of the New York Yankees. Here is John Sterling.
Susan, thank you. And once again, good afternoon, everyone. Well, you don't need a lot of warm-ups today. It is broiling. And so we'll see if that impacts how the pitchers pitch. Because if they have a lot of pitches, they're not going to be long for this game. So Masahiro Tanaka will face Logan Forsythe, the right-handed hitting second baseman, good hitter. 3 infielders on the left side for Forsythe, and the pitch is strike.
We are coming to you live from the Sunoco broadcast booth. The Sunoco Free Fuel 5000. Get the decal, get spotted, win.
Forsythe at 281, 13 homers, 34 RBIs, and Tanaka deals. Then on the ground is short. There is Didi to field and throw, one away. And taking the throw, I might add, is Tyler Austin, so that's his first put out as a Yank.
And he was my pregame guest, and this guy was a major prospect a few years ago, and then he fell off the radar. They took him off the roster, they DFA'd him, came back this year after going to the Fall League. And there's the first Aaron Judge roll call of his career.
I think it's great. Imagine how good it makes them feel. They're Yankees, and they're in Yankee Stadium on a big day. Here's left-handed hitting Kevin Kiermaier, and he takes a strike. Kiermaier, a great outfielder, not hitting at all this year, hitting at .217 with 6 homers and 22 RBIs. He can get the ball in the outfield with anyone. Tanaka's 0-1. The pitch low, 1-1.
And Tyler Austin saluted. Remember who saluted in the first guy I saw salute the bleacher creatures was Nick Swisher. He used to turn around and salute. Tyler Austin just did that.
Oh, Nick Swisher would have sung to them. The 1-1 to Kiermaier. And it's popped up. Down from third comes Headley. Equidistant with the pitcher's mound. Third base side makes the catch. They're 2-way, 10-second station ID. On the WFAN New York Yankees Radio Network.
Justin Rose leading by a stroke in the third round of Olympic golf. NYCFC on the road against Columbus tonight, 7:20 on the Fan. More later on WFAN, WFN-FM New York.
John Sterling, Susan Waldman, Yankee Stadium, on the 20th anniversary of the championship 1996 team. First of all, it's almost impossible for us in this booth to think that 20 years have gone by. I mean, we remember everything so well. 2-8, and here is Evan Longoria. And there's a breaking ball strike. You know how Longoria kills CeCe and the Yankees? Well, not Tanaka. Longoria is 1 for 14 against Masahiro. Overall, Longoria having a great year, hitting a .283, 26 homers, 66 RBIs, and the 0-1 is pop foul, third base side out of play.
Did you notice down there that Andy Fox has not changed one iota? He looks exactly the same as he did 20 years ago.
Terrific, yeah. That'll be an 0-2 to Longoria. Pitch swung on and hit in the air to right and deep. Back is Judge to make the catch at the wall. Aaron Judge went right to the wall to make the catch, then banged into the wall. So both Austin and Judge get a put out. Neat, very neat.
This is very exciting.
So win the Black Bear Ultimate Summer Barbecue with $300 worth of prizing. No purchase necessary. Log on to CBSNewYork.com/BlackBearBBQ. Black Bear Franks and sausages are available only at ShopRite. Black Bear of the Black Forest.
Fall is fast approaching, which means the return of Giants football. So now is a great time to visit a New York, New Jersey area Taco Bell restaurant and get your 2016 Giants game schedule cup. All pre- and regular season games and times are listed on an attractive 30-ounce drink cup decorated in big blue colors and graphics. And while you're at the Bell, pick up a Giants Taco Party Pack too. Quench your Giants thirst, quell your Giants hunger at Taco Bell. Winning never tasted so good.
Well, we go to the bottom of the first, and during the game we will intersperse some of these Yankee greats of the 96 championship team. One is in the booth. I'll introduce him this way. I told him during the year that I think the second baseman is cheating a little bit over to the first base hole on you. And he said, yeah, well, I'll hit it right up the middle. He had the ability to do both those things.
We don't do that anymore.
You have to have the ability to do it. I'm sorry. Hall of Famer Wade Boggs is with us as Ellsbury steps into the batter's box. And the pitch, check swing caught in the air by Longoria right near the third base line. A little bloop. And there's one away. So, how are you?
Good, John. How are you? Hi, Susan. How are you?
Hi, Wade.
It's great to be back in New York and warm.
It's pretty warm. It's warmer than
Florida
in Florida.
day.
Yeah, it's like the heat index is 107.
Believe me, it's 112 on the field right now.
What's that like for you to be around those guys? 1996 was a special year. I still wear that ring. That's as special a year as I've been around. What was it like to walk in here and see everybody?
I think the one.
Pitch to Hicks, a breaking ball strike.
I think the one thing that people have to understand is we started the climb. 96 was the beginning of that great dynasty of 5 World Series, and we started that climbing of the mountain.
The 0-1, Hicks lines a ball off the glove of Miller, and it is thrown away, so we'll see if they call it a hit or an error. It went off the glove of Miller at first. It was picked up by Forsythe, then he threw it by Miller. So on at first base is Hicks with 1 out. Wade, did you have any idea when the season began that team could actually, forget about win a championship, could win the division, go to the playoffs?
Well, actually, I think our best team was 94, and that was our best team. But Selig pulled the plug on us that year, and then next year we had Donnie, and we went and ran into the buzzsaw in Seattle. But 96, I think we were picked to finish fourth, and we just turned it on after that 2-week road trip in California.
All right, here is Headley with 1 on and 1 out, a switcher to batting left, and Andrews deals, and there is a strike.
Jimmy Key always said we would have won it all in '94. It was like a buzzsaw. You really were. I think the only competition was Toronto, and they were kind of fading, and that was such a shame because that was such a good team.
That really was a shame, and isn't it funny how we remember the West Coast trip? I think the Yankees won 9 out of 10 or 10 out of 11, something like that. Great trip.
Mr. Steinbrenner remembered it as well.
He remembered everything, as you know.
Now here's Headley. It'll be an 0-1. Runner goes. The throw to second base is bounced, and safe at second is Hicks. And that's a good sign to see the Yankees run, something they really need. So Hicks steals second.
Well, one of the things that is going to happen now with a younger team, now that Judge is up, now that Tyler Austin is up, and Sanchez, you're going to see a much more aggressive team because there's youth here and a little bit of excitement, which is something that the Yankees want to try and do. You know, I keep contending that the walk you got off of Steve Avery, I contend Bobby Cox forgot you were sitting on the bench because there's no way he would have brought him in if he knew you were there.
Now here is Headley, and the pitch fouled away. Well, there's no way he would have walked Bernie Williams to load the bases. And then here comes Wade off the bench, and he works out the walk, and the Yankees take the lead, and they won a phenomenal game. That was a great game.
Well, it was sort of like the speech that I gave in the back of the plane after we were down 2-0. And I said, I've been in this position before with the Red Sox. We went back to Boston in '86, and we were up 2-0. And I know exactly how Atlanta's feeling. And I told the guys in the back of the plane, I said, listen, we go in and just take names and get it back to New York, and we're going to win this thing. And that's exactly what we did. We went into Atlanta like Grant took Richmond.
Well, that really was improbable. The first Game 3, David Cohn's game, Bertie Williams' game, the 6-0 comeback in Game 4, and Andy Pettit's 1-0 win in Game 5. It was 3 of the best games I've ever seen. There's a breaking ball low to Headley, 2-2.
Now, of course, on the other end of the plane and in the clubhouse, Darryl was giving the opposite speech about that they were down 0-2. You were giving one speech, he was giving a different speech, totally opposites, and it really worked. It really did, because I remember going in that clubhouse, Wade, at Atlanta after Game 2, and they were laughing. They were just really laughing. I told David Cohn, he got all red in the face. And then something happened. It just turned around right in Atlanta.
I'll tell you guys one more thing on that. And this was not a player, it was a writer. The pitch to Headley is cut on a miss that I know, a guy named Mark Bradley. And after the first 2 games in New York, Bradley wrote a column in the Atlanta Constitution. And he said, the Braves aren't playing the 96 Yankees. He said, they're playing the 27 Yankees to be the greatest team of all time. Then he kind of had to eat those words.
And everybody thought the dynasty was in the other dugout, not in this one. I got to ask you, because you've got 2 kids making their major league debut today. The first baseman, who's wearing your old number from Boston 26, and Aaron Judge. Do you remember your first game when they brought you up and you made your major league debut?
Absolutely. I faced Dennis Martinez and went 0 for 4 in Baltimore. And I said, oh, my gosh, this is ridiculous.
Now Didi takes a strike, so Headley strikes out. Hicks at second on the single off the glove of Miller and a stolen base. Didi at 286, 14 homers and 50 RBIs.
Are you thinking at the time, this is my shot, I better not go 0 for 4 again?
Well, exactly. I was at that time I was a utility player, and Carney Lansford was the third baseman. And until he slid into Lance Parrish and broke his ankle, I didn't have a shot. So, but then after that, went up having a pretty good rookie season, and then after that they traded him to Oakland.
There's the 0-1 to Didi. A high pop foul off third. Wade, you know, I've talked about you like Rod Carew and Tony Gwynn, hitters, great hitters like that. When did you know you were going to be able to hit in the big leagues? How long did it take you before you thought, hey, I can do this?
Well, the 5 years in the minor leagues that I hit 300, wound up winning the batting title in 1981. I think the organization knew I could hit. It was a question whether or not they had confidence in me at third, and the power thing. Your corner positions back then wanted power. And
here's the 0-2 to Didi. Swung on, a high fly to left. Back is Franklin, and he makes the catch to end the inning. No runs hit and 1 left.
Well, it's great to chat with you guys.
Thank you, Wade.
We'll
catch up on old times.
Here's the cleanup hitter, Brad Miller, a left-hand hitter to lead off. He had been the shortstop all year. They didn't think he could play short. But he has really proven to be a good power hitter, so he's playing first nowadays. Left-hand hitter, Tanaka Dio, swung on and popped him up down the left field line. A long run for Hicks toward the line, makes the running catch. 1 pitch, 1 out. Miller was at 258, 20 homers and 48 RBIs.
Tonight's first pitch was to this afternoon's first pitch, 91 miles an hour. Choosing the pitcher is important. Your choices matter too. Please drive responsibly. A reminder from the New York City Department of Transportation and the Vision Zero initiative.
Now, one thing thus far, it's very early. Tanaka is getting by with very few pitches, which you have to do on this sweltering day. Now, here is Matt Duffy, the new shortstop. He's a right-hand hitter, 1 for 4. First game was last night. He pitched low. With the Giants, he had 253, 4 homers, 21 RBIs. He also can run. He stole 8 out of 12. Last year, he played third for the Giants and did very well. He wasn't having as good a year this year. Now, here's the 1-0. There is a strike.
Scoreboard update is brought to you by Mercedes-Benz Tri-State Dealers. Vehicle offers and inventory at MBUSA.com. Only one game going on right now. Houston leading Toronto 2-1, bottom of the second. They are at the Rogers Center.
Tanaka's 1-1. There's a little high. Now the count 2-1. So this is just one celebration. Tomorrow there's going to be the Mariano celebration.
We're very big on celebrations here. This was as moving, maybe because we were so involved in that team.
I think so. The 2-1. cut on and fouled off. It began all with the newspaper that said Clueless Joe when Torrey accepted the managing job. Those two phenomenal games in Baltimore on the last day of April and the first day of May. The Yankees were in first place. Gooden's no-hitter. David Cohn's great near no-hitter in Oakland when he came back after surgery after months. Pitch caught on and missed. So Duffy strikes out. It's amazing, Susan, that we can remember all the details of that phenomenal year.
Yeah.
And they didn't name all of them. I mean, of course, we'd be on the field forever if they did. Yankees were down, I don't know, 6, 7, 8 nothing to Chicago on a Sunday. Andy Fox beat out a roller to first, and the Yankees had this phenomenal rally and won the game. Now, 2-8, here's left-handed and Corey Dickerson. He's a .223, 15 homers, 42 RBIs. And the pitch low, and the count 1-0. Here's Tanaka's 1-0 to the left-hand hitter. And the pitch foul, third base side out of play. Dickerson had stepped out for a moment. That'll be a 1-1, and Tanaka deals. Grounded weakly foul outside of first. The Ford Freedom Sales event is on for a limited time. Enjoy great financing and low lease offers. Hurry to your local Ford dealer for more information. Now, Tanaka a strike away from having his second consecutive 1-2-3. And the 1-2. Struck him out swinging splitter. Good splitter. 2 strikeouts to the inning. 1-2-3 go the Rays. At the end of an inning and a half. And if you look at the Yankee lineup as Castro comes up, we had that great night last night. 2-run homer, 2-run single to pace the Yankees to the win. And the pitch is fouled back. But, Susan, look at the rest of this lineup. You have Castro, then Sanchez, Austin, and Judge. So 3 baby bombers in a row.
And you do know that if Greg Bird hadn't gotten hurt last year, he already would have been here.
Absolutely. Oh, he showed he could hit last year. My goodness. Here's the 0-1. Cut on him. Missed. Slider by Andrews. I never gave Andrews numbers. I'm a little busy here, but he has pitched very well. His ERA is 2.90. Now, here is the 0-2. Castro swings and misses a breaking ball away. So that's the second strikeout for Andres, and there's one away. And here is a guy who already has shown that he can be a major leaguer. Gary Sanchez. Everybody who sees him is in awe of his arm. If he was playing on a regular basis, he'd have one of the best throwing arms of any catcher in the bigs, and who knows, maybe the best. It's that good. It's that phenomenal. He has to do other things. He's always been thought of as a hitter. He's 10 for 32 with a homer and 4 RBIs. Right-hand hitter. And there's a breaking ball. Strike 3. Infielders on the left side.
And I love what every time you go into another clubhouse, in Boston they said it, in Tampa they say it, everybody said, boy, that's some arm. And that's a special arm.
That is a special. It's a very different arm. Pitch. There's a slider outside in the count 1-1.
You know what I like about his approach? He's very patient at the plate. He sees things, and if he makes a mistake, he doesn't make it again. This is going to be very interesting to watch.
Here's the 1-1. And the pitch hit hard but foul outside of third. And the count 1-2.
And I think it's very rare that people come up and immediately look like they're not overwhelmed. Or if he doesn't take bad, I'm not saying he doesn't make outs, but he doesn't swing at bad pitches and he doesn't give bad swings. Interesting.
Here's the 1-2. And it's chopped over the mound. Going to be a tough play. The throw to first is in time. Nice play. And that is the second baseman, Forsythe, who made the play on a chopper over the mound. So that's a 4-3 two-way. And here's the first Major League at bat for Tyler Austin.
Nice applause for Tyler Austin. This is you love kids' stories like this. This was a real hotshot prospect and didn't really live up to, he was injured a lot, he didn't hit. They took him off the roster. They DFA'd him, took him off the roster, and this year he wasn't even invited to camp. They put him in Double-A, and all of a sudden he started hitting and is hitting a ton at Triple-A.
Pitch is a strike. Yeah, he started in Trenton, moved up in Scranton in just 200 at-bats. He had 24 doubles, 13 homers, 49 RBIs, and a .323 batting average in just 200 at-bats. So the Yankees are hoping he's ready. Pitch is caught on him. Missed. Yankees are in a really odd position. I can't go through the numbers now, but let me tell you, they are in the wild card race. They're also in the division race, and yet you know they're going to play Austin and Sanchez and Judge a lot. They get a chance to see what they can do. It'll be an 0-2. Pitch high. Of course, maybe they'll all get off great, and the Yankees will benefit from having the kids in the lineup.
See, I don't think that they're just trying to get a look at them. I think that they think that these kids are better than what was playing. That just the whole structure of the team will be better. I mean, they'll at least be exciting. I'm not saying better than Carlos Beltran, but you know what I mean. The whole team aspect.
The 1-2 is a sinker inside. 2-2 to Austin.
And when Tanaka struck out Duffy, that was the first strikeout of the game. And Winthrop University reminds you that they strike out cancer with their CyberKnife technology. Winthrop University Hospital, your health means everything.
There'll be a 2-2 to Austin with 2 outs and no one on. And the right-hander deals foul back. So the count holds 2-2. If Austin reaches, then Aaron Judge will be coming up next.
Now, it's a lot easier for them. Tyler Austin, Aaron Judge, Gary Sanchez, Sessa, they all played together. They're very close down in Scranton. And you could see Tyler Austin smile when Sanchez and Sessa came over and started hugging him.
Pitch swung on and drilled to deep right, toward the line, toward the wall, and it is gone! How do you like that? His first major league at bat. Tyler Austin hits a home run down the right field line into the lower deck. Now Tyler delivers a home run in his first major league at bat, and the Yankees take a 1-0 lead.
Well, the next thing I was going to say is if you missed my interview with Tyler Austin, he is a right center hitter. And I said, you know, this is a really short porch here. And he said, yeah, I know. And I said, we've got a lot of right-handers that hit home runs there. How about that, kid? Your first major league at bat, a home run. Wow.
Very tough to do that. And very tough to do anything better than that. Here's Aaron Judge.
Wow.
The very tall right-hand hitter. And the pitch is strike. Boy, isn't that amazing?
Can you imagine?
That is amazing.
Holy cow. What do you think he's feeling right now? You know, this is a guy who a year ago they DFA'd and took him off the roster.
There's the 0-1. Judge fouls up. If you're wondering, Susan and I get a big kick out of this for this reason. Every single day we get a minor league report on all the teams in the Yankees minors. And so we look at Scranton to see who's doing what, who can help these Yankees. And you look at the numbers as the days and weeks go by for Austin and Sanchez and Judge. 0-2 is low outside, a sinker. And the count 1-2. And so we were following their progress during the year. Well, manifested here in the Bronx, at least for
wow,
one
at bat. For one at bat. Is that something?
Now here's the 1-2. Swung on, hit in the air to deep center. Kiermaier back on the track at the wall. She is gone into Monument Park. This is something you almost don't believe. Oh, here's Aaron Judge. Here comes the Judge. On Judgment Day, he homers into the Monument Park center field netting. And Judge and Austin go back to back, little belly to belly, and the Yankees take a 2-0 lead. If this was scripted, you couldn't write a better script.
You know, we were excited when I walked in and saw Tyler Austin and then Aaron Judge, who was called up at midnight. They called him at midnight because they were afraid that Gardner couldn't play. So he and his parents drove from Rochester at midnight to get here. What a thing. Oh, my goodness.
And he homers in Monument Park on the netting over the center field wall. Wow. What a beginning. Here's
goodness.
Austin Romine, and he fouls it off.
Yeah,
I mean, you couldn't script it. You absolutely couldn't script it. Isn't that amazing?
Those, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to do those with a Valentine Blast of the Game, brought to you by Valentine IPA. Take a piece of craft beer history today at your local liquor store favorite pub. And everybody in the stadium is probably saying, well, where have they been?
The 0-1 slider outside. You got a point there, Owen.
Oh, you know
Judge at Scranton was at 270, 19 homers, 65 RBIs. Now here's Romine, a right-hand hitter. And the 1-1 is a half swing, cut on and foul tip into the glove of Maley. No, the count 1-2.
So before those two, there were three people that hit a home run on their first Major League plate appearance. Andy Phillips, Marcus Timms, the assistant hitting coach, and John Miller. That was in 1966.
1-2. Cut on and missed. Wow.
Wow.
I mean, back-to-back home runs from Tyler Austin and Aaron Judge in their first Major League at-bats. Something. 2 runs, 2 hits, no one left. And at the end of 2-2 at Yankee Stadium, we begin the third. Mikey Matuk, a right-hand hitter, takes a breaking ball strike. Matuk is 14 for 83 on the year. That's 169, no homers and 5 RBIs. And Tanaka's 0-1, a breaking ball strike, and the count 0-2.
So Aaron Judge ran out to right field and got the same kind of reception that Paul O'Neill used to get and Nick Swisher used to get out in the bleacher creatures in the right field stands, too.
0-2, a bouncer up there.
Wow.
Now, swing by Smith Carnes Ford in Mount Kisco, New York, and check out Ford's all-star lineup of great new cars and trucks. For great deals on Ford cars, trucks, SUVs, and crossovers, visit tristateford.com. Now here's the 1-2. Struck him out swinging, the third consecutive strikeout for Tanaka, and there's one away.
Adorama Trivia brought to you by Intel processor-based 2-in-1 computers available at Adorama and Adorama.com. Name the two Yankee base runners who scored on Jim Leyritz's 3-run homer against Mark Wohlers in Game 4 of the '96 World Series.
Well, that's a good question.
Yeah.
Nick Franklin is the hitter, and switcher to batting left. Another ex-shortstop. He's playing left field these days. He's 22 for 81. That's 272 with 2 homers and 17 RBIs. There's a strike. The irony is that both Franklin and Miller were Seattle Mariners shortstop hopefuls, and obviously dealt away. Miller now playing first base for Tampa. 3 infielders on the right side. It'll be a 1-1. And pitch outside. I have 2 names that I'll give you. You don't want them now.
Well, you can't do them now.
No.
No.
I don't know that they're true. I'm just going to guess on that end of the batting order. Here is the 2-1. Swung on, a high fly to left. Hicks went in, now moves back. He's there to make the catch, and there are 2 away. Tanaka has faced 8 and retired 8. Well, Yankee fans, there's another team of professionals in the Bronx with all-star talent. Workman's Circle Multi-Care Center. Quality care close to home. Call 718-379-8100 or on the web at wcmcc.org. 2A, the 9th hitter, the catcher Luke Maley. And there's a fastball strike. Maley is 9 for 51, no homers and 5 RBIs. That figures 9 for 51, figures out to 176. Here's the 0-1. God, I missed on the splitter.
You know what I forgot to ask, and I will ask both of them after the game. Matt Andriese has been up and down in the system. I wonder if they'd faced him in AAA.
0-2 is low. That's a good thought.
Durham?
Yeah.
Scranton?
1-2 on Maley. 2-0 Yankees on the improbable back-to-back home runs by 2 rookies in their first at bat. Now, try that on for size. There's the 1-2. It's pop foul, first base out of play.
That'll calm you down a little bit. Not like Wade Boggs, who was 0 for 4 off of Dennis Martinez. And when Wade was talking about the only reason he got a shot, he was in the minor leagues for 5 years. He was 26 when they brought him up, and only because Carney Lansford broke his ankle.
Here's the 1-2. Grounded. Excuse me, foul outside of third.
Isn't it amazing how people make judgments? Boggs, always hit, but they had him as a first baseman. They didn't think he could play third. And in the minor leagues, he had the great third baseman, late Frank Malzone, would come down to Pawtucket and hit him 200 balls a day, and they'd do that. Made himself into a third baseman.
There's the 1-2. Fastball high. Well, about not making early judgments, Willie Mays was 0 for 21. And asked Leo, send me back. I can't hit up here.
You know who was 0 for 32?
Here's the 2-2 to Maley. Swung on and popped up to shallow right. In comes Judge, and he makes the catch to end the inning.
Ryan Sandberg, 0 for his first 32.
So you can't make judgments a little too quick. Anyway, 1, 2, 3. Go the Rays on home runs by Tyler Austin and Aaron Judge in their first major league at bat. I wonder if that's ever been done. Here's Ellsbury. There's a strike. That is really a good question. I wonder if that's ever been done.
Back-to-back in their major league debuts?
Yeah. Well, I mean, how many guys have been a home run there? There have been a lot.
Well, how many guys have, in their major league debuts, have batted back-to-back?
That's an amazing thing. So we're going to find out. The 0-1 is grounded to second. Forsythe throws to first. Ellsbury is out, 1 away. Now here's Aaron Hicks, who singled off Miller's glove his first time.
Well, I see our buddies at Yes must have found Tyler Austin's mother. Can you imagine what they're thinking? And I know that Judge's parents are here because they drove with him from Rochester.
Aaron Hicks grounds it foul.
Al Padricki, the manager at Scranton, they were playing in Rochester, called Aaron, and he was having dinner with his parents. It was after a game. It was around midnight, and Al Padricki said to him, you know, I think you better cut this dinner short and get to New York. And his parents were there. They packed up the car and drove down.
Now here's the 0-1. Pitch cut on and foul tip. So they're put up at a hotel, obviously, and he can't even sleep very late. He's got, which I'm sure he couldn't anyway. He got to get to the ballpark, go to Yankee Stadium, and play his first Yankee game.
That's something. Tyler knew yesterday. I asked him. I said, you know, you're always going to be a trivia question. Who was the person who took Alex Rodriguez's place on the roster? He said, oh, no, please don't say that.
Well, here's the 0-2 to Hicks. And the pitch high. 1-2. When Luke Maley flied out to right field to end the top of the third. That was the 15th out of the game, brought to you by Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on your car insurance. Call Geico. Hicks swings and misses for strike 3, and they're a two-way. Call Geico at 1-800-947-AUTO. Or visit them at geico.com. Now 2-8. Here's Chase Headley, who struck out his first time. 2-0 Yanks, bottom of the third, 2 outs, no one on. Headley has switched to batting left, 3 infielders on the right side. And Andres deals high, 1-0. Now the 1-0. There's a strike. There is the 1-1, and Headley grounds it foul in the count 1-2.
Brett Gardner not in the lineup in case you missed it. Took a ball off his ankle last night. It's really red, sore, swollen. You can see the seam marks. And Joe said he would not be a player for him today. Gardner said, I can play tomorrow. And Joe said, well, we'll see how it goes. That's why Hicks is in left field.
1-2. Swung on and grounded weakly up the first baseline, but it kicks foul. So the count holds at 1-2 on Headley.
Jack just tells me that Aaron Judge's last at bat last night for Scranton, it was a 2-run home run. Calm down, Susan.
Well, if they all play well, how exciting would it be if you had Sanchez, Austin, Judge, and Bird in next year's starting lineup? Here is the 1-2. Shaw came out swinging. Strikeout number 5 for Andres. 1-2-3 go the Yanks. And at the end of 3 innings of play, 2-0 Yankees on the WFAN New York Yankees. That luck, and luck. And I called it. I called it. In fact, the thing that I always remember about the Leyritz home run turned everything around. Phenomenal home run, pitch high. That game, the Yankees were down 6-0 in that game. They scored 3 in the 6th and then were shut down. And in the 8th inning, they got 2 guys on, only because the Braves messed up a double play, an easy double play. Here's the 1-0. And the pitch is cut on and missed by Forsythe. Anyway, what I remember is Leyritz hit this high fly ball to deep left in the launching pad. And Andrew Jones, who then was a kid playing left field, what an athlete. He actually, here's the 1-1. Pitch is grounded to the second baseman, and Castro throws to first in time. He was on the third base side of second, but it's a 4-3. Anyway, Andrew Jones climbed the wall. It's a high wall. He was on top of the wall. What an athlete. But he still couldn't get the Leyritz home run.
I know. The first one we saw, he was 19, right, Andrew Jones?
Yeah. Well, that was some series. And one more. I have 8 things to tell you. It could go on forever and ever and ever. But one thing, the host team holds a party after the World Series games. And so the Braves, one away. Here's Kiermaier. He bunts down third. That's a base hit. Headley fields and throws way late. So Kiermaier uses his wheels. He's got great wheels. And beats out the bunt, and that will bring up Evan Longoria. So 1 on. That's the first batter to get on against Tanaka. I wonder why people are booing him, and I just realized that's why. That's
right.
It breaks up no-hitter, perfect game, yada, yada. It's the 4th inning. Anyway, the Yankees came back from 6-0 down in that game, so a phenomenal game and a phenomenal Yankee win, and now the series tied at 2 games apiece, and the party was held in the new Braves Stadium. They just had the suite floor finished, and that's where they had music and food and alcohol, and pitches lined to right field. There's a base hit. That Longoria something. On to third, Kiermaier. Judge throws through late. So Longoria singles to right in this first and third, and 1 man out. And at that party, all these hardened media members were coming up to me and saying, wow, what a great game and all. It was some party.
It was. They gave Ted Turner gave the best parties after those games. Down, I remember he had Tattinger champagne and
it was on the suite floor which I think is all they had finished for the party. The stadium wasn't finished. Well, I mean, that was something.
That was something.
Really.
Carving board and shrimp. I remember the parties. They gave great parties in Atlanta.
Well, here is Brad Miller, first and third, one out. He's a left-hand hitter. Now, I'd mentioned coming in as Tanaka checks his runners and deals, and the pitch is low, that Longoria was only 1 for 14 off Tanaka. Well, today he sent Judge back to the right field wall to make his catch, and then he just lined a single to right, as good hitters are wont to do. First and third, one man out for the left-hand hitting Miller. 2-0 Yankees, top of the fourth. And Tanaka deals high fastball, 2-0.
Scoreboard update brought to you by New York Presbyterian. Amazing things are happening here. Just one game going on. Houston leading Toronto 2-1. They're in the bottom of the fourth. Josh Donaldson, his 28th home run. Everything else is later.
Yankee infield back looking for 2 to get out of the inning. And Tanaka deals, swung on, a high fly to left and deep. Hicks back on the track at the wall. She is gone. It is a 3-run home run the opposite way for Brad Miller. He hits his 21st home run of the year, a 3-run home run, and just like that, Tampa takes a 3-2 lead.
Well, Miller, they had moved him off of shortstop, and not a very good shortstop. You never really knew where the ball was going when he'd get it. So put him at first base, where he's done okay, but this is why they want him in the lineup. That's amazing. He's got 21 home runs, John. That's amazing.
21, and he now has 51 RBIs.
2-0 pitch, right?
It was a 2-0 pitch, a fastball away. He went with it and hit it over the Hicks leap into the left field seats. Matt Duffy hits a ground ball that's through the right side, a base hit to right field. So Duffy singles hard, and the bunt single by Kiermaier started it all. Then a single by Longoria, hard hit, the 3-run home run, and now another hard hit single, this one by Matt Duffy. Well, the top of the fourth inning is brought to you by Domino's Pizza, the official pizza of the New York Yankees radio network.
You know, what you don't like is how hard these balls have been hit. And he's been behind, which is why he's had to come in with the fastball.
Here's left-hand hitting Corey Dickerson, who grounds it foul first base side out of play. So Tampa takes the lead 3-2 on the 3-run home run by Brad Miller. All the runs in the game on homers. Tyler Austin and Aaron Judge hit them back-to-back in their first at-bats in the major leagues, which is not only amazing, I wonder if that's a record. We'll try to find out. That'll be at 0-1 to Dickerson. Throw to first. Now the 0-1. A high pop foul. Left field side out of play. Here's the 0-2 from Tanaka. And the pitch is fouled at home plate. What a splitter. He went down and got a piece to stay alive. Here's Tanaka's 0-2. Struck him out swinging splitter. So that's the fourth strikeout for Tanaka.
Tyler Austin, Aaron Judge, first teammates in Major League history to each homer in their first career at bats in the same game.
Okay, so that's history.
Wow.
Yeah, that is something. Well, it's amazing that you'd have two kids break in on the same day and have them bat back to back. And they both hit home runs. I mean, that's stretching it a bit. 2-way, here's Mikey Matuk. Pitch, strike. Yeah, I was telling you about Willie Mays was over 21. He told Leo DeRocher, Mr. Leo, send me back to Minneapolis. I can't hit up here. And DeRocher, to his credit, said to him, you're my center fielder every single day all year long. I don't care if you ever get a hit. Then he told him, relax, we'll hit. And he did. He homered that night off Warren Spahn, and that began that phenomenal career. Pitch is right over the plate, but timeout was called. And the home plate umpire, Vic Carapazza, looking into the Yankee dugout, probably getting grief.
You know who used that line? Joe Torre to Tino Martinez when he was in a terrible slump. Joe said, I don't care if you never get a hit the rest of the year. Just go out and play first base.
Here's the 0-1.
He got a few hits.
To Matuk. Okay, led the Yankees in RBIs. I saw that on the script today. And that was some year, boy. That was a great, great year. And the playoffs, yeah. Now here's the 0-1. And the pitch is cut on. Missed 0-2 on Matuk. Now Tanaka ready for the 0-2. Struck him out swinging. Now Tanaka gets his fifth strikeout. However, Tampa takes the lead. 3 runs on 4 hits and 1 left. Now at the end of 3.5, lead it off. Indeed, he fly to left his first time. So Matt Andriese now has the lead, 3-2. Indeed, he takes it outside 1-0. 10-second station ID now on the WFAN New York Yankees radio network.
Justin Rose at 11 under, a 1-stroke lead on Henrik Stenson down in Rio in the 3rd round of the Olympics. More later on WFAN, WFAN-FM, New York.
Andres deals a strike to even the count. John Sterling, Susan Waldman, Yankee Stadium, bottom of the 4th, 3-2 Tampa. Here's the 1-1. Pitch outside. If you missed it, they did a great video tribute to the 96 team. They went throughout the whole year. I mean, they did some job putting all these things together. We remember most of the things. Here is the 2-1 to Didi. And the pitch is popped high in the air, right around the mound. Longoria is called off, and Duffy makes a catch right in back of the mound. And there's one away. No one really remembers this, I think, as much as I do. The Yankees lost the first game to Texas in the division series, and they won the next game on Dean Palmer's throwing error in extra innings. They're down 4-1 in that game. They had a rally to win about every game in the playoffs. It was just an amazing year. Anyway, so we go down to Texas for the final 3 games, and the Yankees had never played well there. Although this at least was in the new stadium. 1 away. And a slider low outside of Castro. And the Yankees were down 2-1 going to the 9th inning of Game 3. Now, if they lose the game, they'd have to win 4 and 5 in Texas, where basically they did terribly. Here's the 1-0. And the pitch is swung on in the air to center. Matuk back. He's on the track. He's at the wall leaping, and it is off the wall or in. I think it's in. It's another home run in Monument Park for Castro. Starlight, star bright. Starlin just hit one with all his might as he comes across. Starlin is darlin', and the Yankees tie the game at 3. Machuk made a leap at the wall, and it hit the netting in back of the wall and came back on the field. So Castro ties the game with his 14th home run, his 53rd RBI.
And I think Kiermaier's a little shaken up because he climbs that wall and he lay on his back for a few minutes. He's up and okay now, though.
Yeah, Machuk played. That was my mistake. He played center field last night. Kiermaier tonight. They're both great athletes, and Kiermaier, fabulous center fielder. And he went up as high as he could, and I guess it hit the netting right in back of it because it came right back on the field. So Castro ties it, and the 0-1 hit on the ground by Sanchez to short. Duffy throws to first, and they're a 2-away. Anyway, so the Yankees come up in the 9th inning down 2-1, and Jeter leads off with a base hit. And here's Tyler Austin, who homered his first time. And Jeter, who was quote-unquote a rookie, never was, he led off that inning with a base hit and eventually scored the tying run. Now here's Austin. And there's a strike. I'll get more to it later. I do have more to tell you, but I want to get this at bat for Tyler Austin.
For Castro, the 14 homers ties his career high. He did it in 2012 and 2014.
Here's the 0-1. God, Optimist. 0-2. They announced what Susan gave you, that they were the first teammates to hit back-to-back home runs in their first game in Major League history.
You know, it's pretty rare that two guys come up and make their Major League debut in the same lineup at all.
Now here's the 0-2. And he swings and misses. So the Yankees are out in the 4th, but Starlin ties it on another long home run to Monument Park, just like he did last night. That means it's time for the Newsday 5th with Newsday sports columnist David Lennon. Newsday, the official news and sports content partner of the New York Yankees radio network. Nick Franklin, a switch hitter batting left, is up, and he fouls the first pitch off third base side. Well, David, you're going to write about it in Newsday tomorrow. Pretty phenomenal what happened in the second inning.
Well, it's just something that's never happened before in baseball history, John. I guess that's fairly significant, right?
The 0-1 breaking ball strike.
Well, we heard for a long time, the Yankees had some prospects to show us, and they put on quite a show so far this afternoon. And Tyler Austin and Aaron Judge. I mean, maybe the expectations were big, but man, what a start.
Tremendous start, that's for sure. Here is the 0-2, and the pitch is cut on and missed. And, that's the appearance of Austin and Judge. And Sanchez, who's not catching today's DHing, has already kind of made his mark. He looks like a hitter and has as good an arm as a catcher can have.
Well, when Brian Cashman stood up that day at Citi Field, guys, at the deadline, and said that what made it feel like sort of a concession speech this season, they promised that these guys were going to come up here and make an impact, or would certainly get the opportunity to. What they did with that opportunity was up to them, but there was a lot of confidence in that group, and hey, you don't have to look any further than the core four that was here this afternoon to see what can happen.
And here's Luke Maile, and he hits a ground ball to third, backhanded by Headley, sets the long throw is in time to
I think, David, what is also exciting about this, and you don't know what's going to happen, but Greg Bird has already proven that he can hit here.
Right.
And so if he hadn't gotten hurt, you'd have 4 of them here. You'd have maybe Bird and Tyler Austin now platooning, and Judge and Wright and Gary Sanchez. That's 4 right there. And, who knows what is going to happen. But I never thought it was a concession speech, actually, because they weren't winning with this group. I know Carlos Beltran was great and Andrew Miller was great. They weren't winning.
That's an important point, Susan. I mean, here we are thinking that this was going to be a building part to the season. they're 3.5 games out of the wild card race. This is a competitive, winning team right now, and that's a big difference.
Now 2-8. Here is Forsythe, and he takes a pitch that is low. I've been saying that the last few days. They may not make the playoffs if they don't win enough games, but they are right there. All they have to do is win their games, and if they don't win their games, they won't deserve it, I guess. The 1-0, Forsythe takes low, and I was telling that to Joe Girardi on the bench before the ceremonies, and he said, yeah, and he said, we play all those teams in September, so they'll have the chance to win those games. Anyway, very exciting. After last night and out tonight, the 2-0, a high pop off first. Austin, foul territory toward the Yankee dugout, makes the catch. And we bid adieu.
It was brilliant.
I feel like
The 6'7" right fielder who hit a massive homer his first time takes a breaking ball away. Judge, first of all, he's what, 6'7" or so?
6'7".
He stands way, way off the plate, and you would think he is really susceptible to righty sliders. You're going to see a lot of them. The 1-0. There's a fastball outside on the count 2-0.
Well, he's been working on that, and in the last couple of spring trainings, we had seen that last year. What they gave him was those sliders down and away. He's added a little leg kick, which helps him from reaching over the plate.
Now here's the 2-0 to Judge. And there's a strike. Judge hit a mammoth home run his first time. There are homers and there are homers. And he hit one to Monument Park into the back of the netting in Monument Park. Some shot. Now here's the 2-1. Strike. Slider outside corner. Now he probably has a great wingspan. And he probably can step into the pitch. But anyway, any right-hand hitter from a right-hander is going to see sliders down and away. I mean, that's part of baseball. Here's the 2-2. That pitch in the dirt, 3-2.
Well, you can see that now he isn't going to see a fastball probably till next year. He's just going slider, 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 because you saw what he did with the fastball.
So it'll be a 3-2. And Andres will deal 3-2 to Judge. Hit hard, base hit left field. And pulled it in the shortstop hole. So Judge is on. Yeah, you think he's going to make the Hall of Fame? Oh, that's half. So Judge singles to left.
Now he took that pitch. It was on the outside part of the plate. He didn't go the other way with it. He pulled it, but he's awfully strong. You can see that.
Now here's Austin Romine. Fans, come out to Yankee Stadium this Wednesday afternoon, August 17th. Yankees and Toronto, and the first 10,000 guests 14 and younger will receive a CC Sabathia growth chart, courtesy of Catch 24 Advertising. For tickets, log on to Yankees.com. Romine struck out his first time.
John, take a look at Aaron Judge standing next to Brad Miller at first base.
Mutt and Jeff.
Gee. Big guy.
I've mentioned this on the air too a lot. You won't know it for a while, long while. But the Yankees, you know, Bird can hit home runs. I mean, he really showed that. He had a terrific August, September with the Yanks last year. So you now have a lefty and a righty slugger in the middle of that lineup, Bird and Judge. And that really is the combination you want. I mentioned pitch to Romine is low. For example, the Cubs combination of young sluggers, the lefty Rizzo and the righty Bryant. And if you have sluggers, lefty and righty back to back in your lineup, it's tough to match up against that. I haven't forgotten the third game in Texas. We have Jeter at first, leading off the ninth with a base hit. The Yankees trailing 2-1. There goes Judge, and the pitch is swung on and hit in the air to center. Kiermaier goes way back on the track to make the catch, and Judge comes back to first base. So they play hit and run, and Romine hits the ball to the track in front of Monument Park for the first out, and here's Ellsbury. But I don't see the Yankees hit and run a lot. I like to see it. I like moving base runners. First of all, it's more exciting that way. But also, you
can move runners. And now that you have a younger team, you can do that. You know what I always think about when, you say you can't trade Beltran, you can't trade Miller. I remember when Branch Rickey traded Ralph Kiner to the Cubs. And the line was something like, I can be in last place with you, and I can be in last place without you.
Absolutely. We can finish last without you and with you. So Ellsbury 0 for 2. Swung on and lines a base hit to right center toward the gap. Judge makes the turn, heads to third. Kiermaier throws to second. A base hit, and the Yankees are set up. Runners on the corners and one out for Aaron Hicks.
And looking at Judge, he's not slow.
No.
He really can run.
And to continue further with the lefty-righty business, then these guys have to develop. I'm not giving them major league starring careers yet. I think that's a little silly. But you could have a threesome of Judge, Bird, and Sanchez, righty, lefty, righty. Sounds awfully good.
I guess that's what they're planning. You talk to the scouts, and those are the three. Just waiting them. And Brian Cashman always used the phrase, you got to, when are you bringing them up, when are you bringing it? Well, you got to finish them off first. You got to get them to the point where they're ready, where you don't have to learn at the major. There's enough to learn when you get to the major leagues without really having to learn fundamentals.
Aaron Hicks has singled and struck out. Runners at first and third, one out. Hicks is switch hitter, batting left. And the right-hander deals. Swung on, hit in the air to deep right. It is high, it is far, it is gone. Second deck. Aaron Hicks. It's a 3-run home run to right. Hicks hits one to the sticks. Aaron hammers one to right. A 3-run blast. And the Yankees now take a 6-3 lead.
Well, Aaron Hicks has taken the brunt of the fans' displeasure for most of this year. Last night he started hitting. Joe Girardi had said he was starting to hit better. He's seen better at bats in the last couple of weeks. That's going to make him feel better, right, after hearing boos for weeks?
There's one easy way, I don't care if you play football, basketball, baseball, hockey, to turn around the crowd. Play well. That's all you have to do. Headley swings, fouls it away. The fans want to cheer. They want to be excited. They want to root. For Hicks, his 6th home run, second in 2 nights. He has 25 home runs. And the Yankees take a 6-3 lead, all on home runs. Judge, Austin, Castro, and the 3-run blast by Hicks. Headley takes outside. And by the way, incidentally, the day after the Yankees score 6 or more runs, you get 50% off the regular price of all Papa John's pizzas when you use promo code Yankee6 at papajohns.com. Papa John's, the official pizza of the New York Yankees. There'll be a 1-1 to Headley. And he grounds it foul outside of first. One, 2 is low. Now, this is old-fashioned Yankee baseball.
Yes.
I like this.
Yes.
This is Yankee-like. I've been saying un-Yankee-like. This is Yankee-like. They have 7 hits and 4 home runs. Now here's the 2-2 to Headley. 3 infielders on the right side. Pitch. is inside 3-2.
You know, you started saying about the boos. It's right. Jeff Nelson used to say that when he'd come out of the bullpen after he'd blown something, he'd get booed. And he said, you have to learn not to take it personally. They want to cheer for you. They're not booing you personally. They just don't like what you did yesterday.
Now here's the 3-2. Caught on and missed. So Headley strikes out. That's strikeout number 7 for Andres. Get out of the dugout into the game with Brute antiperspirant and deodorant. Because on the field, like in life, why be a man when you could be the man? Brute, the essence of man.
Jeff Nelson's contention was that you don't get upset if you realize that they're not booing you personally. It's just what you've done.
Yeah, it's actually sometimes a good thing because it shows the passion that the fans have. Now here's Didi with 2 outs. And the pitch fouled away third base side. There's the 0-1. Line to right field. And back is Montuk. He can't get it. It's by him to the wall. Montuk fires to second. Didi there with a double. Montuk was running toward right center. Reach. And the ball was by him to the auxiliary scoreboard for a double. One other thing, Susan. When you look at the Yankee team as Jim Hickey trots to the mound, that means a card.
It does. And the Rays pitching coach, Jim Hickey, is headed to the mound to speak to Matt Andriese. This consultation to the mound is brought to you by Salino and Barnes. Call them today for a free consultation at 800-888-8888. Yes, you were saying?
Well, these are young, exciting players. In addition to all the young kids, Castro and Didi at second and short aren't exactly grizzled old men. So that's a lot of young talent.
Right. I think 26 is not grizzled and old, not yet. No, it's terrific. It's good. This is what Brian Cashman had in mind. I don't think he had in mind that Tyler Austin and Aaron Judge would do something that's never been done in Major League history before.
Right-hander Erasmo Ramirez is in the Tampa bullpen.
Now, and his pitches just aren't sharp. And don't forget, the heat index is 107 out there. I know he's only thrown 72 pitches, but it probably feels like a whole lot more with this heat.
Here's Castro, who struck out and homered. He also hit one into Monument Park. Yankees with a 6-3 lead. Didi at second, 2 out. And Castro grounds it foul behind the plate. Will I ever finish the inning? So Raines comes up and Joe Torre tells him bunt, but bunt for a hit. Bunt to third for a hit. Because Dean Palmer threw the ball away in the game the Yankees won, the second game of the Texas series, and they thought maybe his shoulder was hurting, which it turned out to be. It'll be a 0-1 to Castro. And a breaking ball low. And so Raines tried to bunt, and he bunted a foul twice, and then being Rock Raines, he ran the count to 3-2. They sent Jeter, and Raines ripped a base hit to left center. Jeter went to third, scored on a Bernie sac fly, and later in the inning they walked Tino to get to Duncan, who delivered a single for the lead, and Wetland made it stand up, and the Yankees won. Whoa, what a big game that was.
Boy, was it.
That I'll remember always. And it'll be a 1-1 to Castro. Pitch is grounded foul.
Don't you remember that the scouting report on Dean Palmer was make him throw the ball? Make him throw the ball.
And so when they walked Chino second, there was a runner at second, 2-on-2 out. Mariano Duncan came up, and he told me, obviously, after the game that Mike Henneman was in, and he said Henneman threw splitters, and he said, so I knew I was going to get a splitter, and he lined it to right center for what was the game-winning hit. It'll be a 1-2 to Castro. He struck out swing on a breaking ball down and away. So Andres has 8 strikeouts. However, big inning for the Yanks. They get 3 runs on 4 hits. The big blow, Aaron Hicks, 3-run home run. And at the end of 5 innings of play. Now here's the center fielder Kevin Kiermaier to lead off the top of the 6-6-3 Yanks. Tanaka ready to deal. And the pitch low, 1-0. Kiermaier began the 3-run rally for Tampa with a bunt single. That was in the 4th. Then Longoria singled and Brad Miller homered. And the pitch is low to Kiermaier, 2-0. So a 3-run home run for the Rays. A 3-run home run for the Yanks. Hicks. Here's the 2-0. Hit on the ground, foul outside of first. And 3 solo home runs by Judge, Austin, and Starlin Castro.
Scoreboard update brought to you by Bigelow, New York's hot tea of choice. Let's see what's brewing around the league. Still only 1 game going on. Houston still with a 2-1 lead over Toronto, bottom of the 6th there at the Rogers Center.
The 2-1, caught on him. Good splitter by Tanaka.
A couple of games tonight you might be interested in. Arizona is in Boston. That'll be Archie Bradley against Clay Buchholz. Oh, there is a game going on in the National League.
And here's the 2-2. Struck him out swinging, another splitter. And there's one away, and that is the 7th strikeout for Tanaka.
Addison Russell just had a 2-run homer in the 2nd inning, his 14th of the year. Cubbies still batting, and they lead St. Louis 2-0. Everything else later, including San Diego at the Mets. Tonight at 9 o'clock, Baltimore, we're also watching. They will be in San Francisco.
Now, 1 away. Here's Longoria, who's 1 for 2. He takes a breaking ball strike, but the first time up, he sent Judge to the right field wall to make his catch of his drive. Then he lined a single to right. 3 infielders on the left side for the righty hitting Longoria. And Tanaka is 0-1. The pitch inside, the count 1-1. Now here's the 1-1. Breaking ball strike, 1-2. Pitch is grounded foul outside of third. One, 2. Breaking balls outside, 2-2 to Longoria. We're in the top of the 6th inning, 6-3 Yanks. Every run scored today on a home run. The 2-2 is low. I haven't mentioned it, but if the Yankees win today, I mean, it's not really a big thing. They have to keep winning if they want to entertain any hopes of getting to the playoffs in any fashion. But anyway, if they win today, they'll be 4 over, and that would tie their high water mark of the year. And here is the 3-2. Swung on, a fly ball to shallow center, and Judge on the run, cuts in front of Ellsbury for the catch, and they're a 2-way. He runs very well.
And Aaron Judge, by the way, is not just a right fielder. He could play left, and he could play center field if they needed him. He is a tremendous athlete.
I think the Yankees, if I guessed right, were 4 over after they beat Houston twice. And what happened? They lost to Houston, and then they lost all 3 to Tampa. And they looked like a team going absolutely nowhere. And then all the moves were made. But if you check the standings, all they have to do is the Yankees is win a majority of their games. Well, here's Brad Miller. He swings, lets a fly ball to right. Judge going back on the track at the wall. She is gone again for Brad Miller.
Wow.
He homered to left. He homers to right. And the Yankee lead is 6-4. And home run derby continues at Yankee Stadium. So Miller hits his 22nd home run. And he now has 52 RBIs. Very impressive. Very impressive. And it's a 6-4 ball game.
That is very impressive. To left and to right. Went about 5 rows over the fence.
Here's Matt Duffy. Well, if Miller can play first at all, which I'm sure he can, he's an infielder, he's got to be there. This team needs pop so badly. Duffy takes a strike.
And that's the 6th time that Brad Miller has had a multi-homer game in his career.
There's the 0-1. Fastball high, 1-1. Duffy has struck out and singled to right. Here's the 1-1. It's grounded to first. Austin has to feed Tanaka on the run. Beautifully done. So a 3-1. Austin got the ball way wide at first, but he threw a good feed, leading Tanaka to the bag. 1 run, 1 hit. The home run by Miller, and no one left. It's the bad. The good, he had 8 strikeouts and no walks. Odd, huh? So with 8 strikeouts in 5 innings, it's certainly swing and miss stuff, but he gave up 4 home runs, good for 6 runs. Here is Sanchez to lead it off.
Recovery Room Health Update sponsored by New York Presbyterian. Amazing things are happening here around the league. Cardinals outfielder Matt Holliday, 15-day DL, fractured right thumb.
Pitch low, back to the screen. Sanchez has grounded second and grounded to short. And there's the 1-0. Hit on the ground to third. And Longoria fields, throws across, and there is 1 away. Now here's Tyler Austin, who has homered and struck out. He's a right-hand hitter. And the pitch cut on him, missed. And the count 0-1 on Tyler Austin. Pitch is lined to right field. Has a base hit. What a great beginning. What a great beginning. So Austin has a homer and a single, and here is Judge, who also has a homer and a single. Something.
This is something.
I don't know why I did it or said it, but I relayed the Willie McCovey's first. He was called up well after the year had begun, maybe May or June, and he faced Robin Roberts of the Phils, who went 4 for 4, and that Hall of Fame career was begun. Now here is Judge, a right-hand hitter, and the pitch caught on a missed. And the count 0-1.
So both hits for the right-handed Austin have gone to the right side. He said he was a right field, right center hitter.
Throw to first. Austin dives back. Now the 0-1 is low, and the count 1-0. Now Ramirez will deal 1-1. And it's grounded foul off third. 1-2. Yanks have a 6-4 lead as we play in the bottom of the 6th. Now here's the 1-2. Swung on and blooped over first, and it's a foul ball. It just got over Miller's head, but also just went foul. If it was 1 or 2 inches to the other side, not only would it be a hit, probably would have bounced down the line and been a double. But anyway, here is Judge with the count of 1-2.
Judge selected by the Yankees first round 2013.
Now here's the 1-2. And it's pop foul. First base side to make the seats. And the count holds 1-2. Now, one thing, everyone says, "Oh boy, is it hot out." But one thing in our booth, when you lean forward, which we do to talk into the mics and all, you can feel the steam. Yeah, it's like you could bite it. Now here's the 1-2 to Judge. Austin leads off first with 1 out, and the pitch is popped up to back a second. There is Forsythe in the outfield to make the catch, and there are 2 away. Now 2-8. Here is Austin Romine.
Judge is 24, went to Fresno State. You drafted in 2013 and up in 2016. That's not a very long rise. Pretty quick.
The Yanks are hoping that for a lot of their other young, hopeful stars in the minors. Pitch to Romine, foul back. Here's the 0-1, and that's fouled off first. 0-2 on Romine. Bottom of the 6th inning, 1 on, 2 out. Base runners at first, Tyler Austin, and the Yankees have a 6-4 lead. The bullpen is quiet. Tanaka is certainly going to start. His pitch count is fine. He's made a bad pitch, maybe, to Brad Miller, and that's about it. Here's the 0-2 to Romine. Pitch in the dirt, breaking ball in the dirt, and the count 1-2.
I give guys sitting in the stands in the sun a lot of credit today. You can see the seats that are under the overhang are jammed. Not so much in the sun. Whoa, 100 degrees.
Now here's, first of all, Romine backs out. Sit here, you can feel the steam.
It's unbelievable.
Well, here's the 1-2 inside, As Romine kind of shrugs away, and the count 2-2. Ellsbury, the on-deck hitter. And the 2-2 is low. There goes the runner. The throw is not in time. So Austin steals second. Boy, has that been missing from the Yankees. Some guys who can run. So just in case Romine gets a hit, there's a runner in scoring position. The count 3-2.
That is also the difference between older players and someone who's 24. And he does have speed. And as I said, Judge has surprising speed. You know, you wouldn't think someone. I remember when we saw him play right field in spring training. He really can cover the field.
Well, here's the 3-2, and it's fouled at home plate. And again, the 3-2. Austin leads off second, and the pitch is cut out of missed. So Romine strikes out. No runs, 1 hit, 1 left at the end of 6. 6-4 Yanks on the WFAN New York Yankees radio network, driven by Jeep.
Yankees baseball is presented by the 27th.
Here's a left-handed hitter, Corey Dickerson, to lead off, and the pitch cut out of missed on a splitter.
Speed Report is brought to you by OD Household Services, self-moving services that deliver. Get a quote at odmove.com for your next move. Couple of stolen bases today for the Yanks. Aaron Hicks in the first inning, Tyler Austin in the 6th.
0-1, strike on the outside. Tanaka is an unbelievable pitch count shape. If I'm right, I think this is going to be his 75th pitch.
Yeah, 74. Yeah.
And the 0-2 is low. The Yankees used Clippard, Warren, and Betances all last night. So that doesn't mean they can't pitch today. But Tanaka is trying to give them a lot of innings. The 1-2 struck him out swinging. Now that is strikeout number 8 for Tanaka. That makes his pitch count even more surprising because you have all those strikeouts. You usually take a lot of pitches to strike someone out. Oh, one away, and here is a right-handed hitter, Mikey Matuk.
He's been very aggressive, and look at the percentage of balls to strikes. 55 strikes and 21 balls, so he's throwing strikes, so you have to swing at it.
Pitch, a breaking ball strike.
It's not like they're going deep in counts. When was the last time on the Speed Report that I read Yankees stealing 2 bases in a game?
It's tough to remember. Pitch, breaking ball, is popped up to shallow left. Didi out, and Hicks in, and Hicks makes the catch. And they're a 2-way. Here is the in-game box score brought to you by RSM. Experience the power of being understood. Tampa, 4 runs, 5 hits, no errors. The Yankees, 6 runs, 9 hits, no errors. Every run in the game delivered by home runs. There have been 6 homers in the game. Well, 2-way, here is the left fielder, Nick Franklin, a switcher to batting left. And Tanaka deal swung on and hit in the air to deep left. Hicks going back, and Ellsbury, and it is Hicks for the catch to end the inning. You know, if you look at that inning, I'll bet Tanaka didn't throw 7 pitches in that inning with a strikeout. It was really kind of amazing. So 1, 2, 3. Go the Rays at the end of 6.5 innings of play. And the Yankees have a 6-4 lead on the WFAN New York Yankees radio network driven by Jeep. Yankee fans, did you know that Indian Point produces some of the most price-stable electric power in our region? Well, just like our Yankee hitters, power plays an important role in New York's ability to succeed. Every day, New York competes with other parts of the country to attract businesses and grow jobs. And affordable, reliable power is one of the major ways New York can continue to win. Learn about the value of Indian Point Power at SafeSecureVital.com.
When you're grocery shopping this week, make sure you pick up a red bag or two of 8 o'clock coffee, America's original gourmet coffee, roasted from carefully selected, high-quality 100% Arabica beans for over 150 years. Start your day with a freshly brewed cup of great-tasting 8 o'clock coffee, available at your local Best Market. Fans register to win $50 in free groceries to your favorite independent grocery store. Log on to WFAN.com/supermarket to enter and make every time you shop for groceries a home run. No purchase necessary. 8 o'clock coffee and Best Market. That's a winning combination.
From the dirt to the street, Kawasaki has you covered with a wide variety of adrenaline-inducing motorcycles. When it comes to motocross, the Kawasaki KX will help propel you to the podium. If you're looking for a weekend...
Now here we go to the bottom of the 7th. Top of the order. Here is Ellsbury against Erasmo Ramirez. And the pitch is grounded to second. And Forsythe throws out Ellsbury, 1 away.
Well, Tyler Clippard is up in the pen. So I wonder if that is it for Tanaka. Fans come out to the stadium Monday, August 15th, when the Yankees take on the Blue Jays. The first 18,000 guests in attendance receive a Yankees T-shirt, courtesy of Kawa. For tickets, log on to Yankees.com.
Here's Aaron Hicks, who was 2 for 3. Singled off Brad Miller's glove, struck out, and then hit the big blow of the game, a 3-run home run to right in the second deck and right. Switch hitter batting left, and he takes a strike, and the count 0-1. Is low, and the count 1 out. They had a much bigger crowd here during the ceremonies, obviously in the early part of the game, and I guess, as they say, discretion is the better part of valor. So they got out of the ceremony.
Wow, gosh. No, I couldn't say that.
Now here's the 1-1 to Hicks. And he fouls it back. And the count 1-2. Ramirez deals, swung on and lined down the left field line, and it is a foul ball, tail foul, just over the sidewall, right near the foul pole. Very well hit by Aaron. Well, here is the power report brought to you by Indian Point Energy Center, the region's most reliable source of electric power. And man, there's been a lot of power today. Brad Miller has 2 home runs for Tampa, a solo job, and a 3-run home run, accounting for all 4 Tampa runs. All the Yankee runs on homers as well. The pitch to Hicks, swung on, a fly ball to center, and there is Kiermaier back with a step or 2 to make the catch. For the Yankees, amazingly, in the second inning with 2 outs, no one on, Tyler Austin and Aaron Judge hit homers back-to-back. Yeah, belly to belly, I know. The first time that 2 teammates have hit home runs in their first major league game in history. Amazing. Then Castro homered in the 4th, and Hicks hit a 3-run home run in the 5th. All the Yankee runs on home runs. Here's Headley, and the power report brought to you by Indian Point Energy Center.
I bet the 2 of them will sleep tonight, huh?
Yes. Yeah, they both had to get here. And it's tough getting to a hotel and then finding your way to the stadium and all. There's the 1-0. Pitch outside. And the count 2-0, excuse me, on Headley.
Tyler Austin said he found out in the afternoon. We knew that he was going to be the person to take Alex's spot. Aaron Judge found out at midnight.
Pitch outside, 3-0.
Rochester's not close. What is that, 6 hours? 5-6 hours?
No,
Maybe.
I don't think it's that. Well, I don't know, maybe.
I don't know. Maybe
it's a
not.
long trip.
Well, at least 4, right?
Yeah. There's the 3-0. And the pitch is strike. For those who don't live anywhere near here, up in what is called central New York is Syracuse, straight up. And then on a line going west, it's Syracuse, Rochester, and finally Buffalo. And there's the 3-1. Outside. Now, Headley walks.
And that was the first walk of the game. That's unbelievable. I didn't realize that. First walk of the game. So just walk into any of City MD's convenient locations. They're open every day. Need a doctor? Just walk in.
Didi has doubled in 3 trips. And takes a pitch low. Jack, did I do a station break? 10-second station ID on the WFAN New York Yankees radio network.
Mets try to snap their 4-game losing streak tonight at home against the Diamondbacks. Jacob deGrom against Jared Kozar and Steve Summers after the game on WFAN, WFN-FM New York.
John Sterling, Susan Waldman, Yankee Stadium. Bottom of the 7th inning. Yanks have a 6-4 lead and have a runner at first with 2 out. Didi swings and lines one to deep right. That ball is high. It is far. It is gone. Oh, that beautiful right field Yankees swing by Didi. A 2-run home run to right. Yes, indeedy. Didi Gregorius makes Yankee fans euphorious. A 2-run blast. Another home run in the game. And the Yankees have an 8-4 lead.
And for the Yankees, that's their 5th home run today, and that ties a team's season high in a game. The last time they did that was against Kansas City all the way back on May 9th.
Wow.
Now, that's Yankee baseball. That
is old-fashioned. Didi's 15th home run. He has 52 RBIs. Now, he has 15 homers. His buddy Castro has 14 homers, and they have, I think, 53 RBIs. Pitch to Castro as a strike. Let's see. Didi has 51 RBIs, and Castro has 53. One thing, though, I do want to say to be nice or fair or accurate or something. There's the 0-1. Strike. I happen to like this, so this is not a knock. I like it. I think it's a positive. Today is very hot and humid, and the ball carries in hot weather, and baby, it's carrying today. There have been 7 home runs in the game. Now here's the 0-2. And the pitch is lined to right field, a base hit. Castro got a ball away, extended the arms, and banged it to right.
Well, fastball, 92-mile-an-hour fastball, looks awfully straight coming in there. Right on the outside corner, and it was up around the waist. Pulled over the belt. Longoria and Maley are talking to Ramirez. Castro does that very well, going the opposite way, taking the ball on the outside part of the plate and serving it to right field. The only time he gets in trouble is when he doesn't swing at strikes out there.
Well, here's Gary Sanchez. And the pitch in the dirt. And the count 1-0.
You know, it's so much more comfortable, John, for all of them. Sanchez and Austin and Judge. A couple of the young pitchers that were down there. I was told that the guys at Scranton were all very close. So you walk in and you see friendly faces. It's got to make things a lot easier.
1-0, strike, and the count 1-1.
Aaron Judge said his time being at spring training was so great because he got to know everybody. So he walks in, and there's McCann, and there's Romine and Gardner, all the people that he knew in spring training. Been there a couple of years now.
1-1. Sanchez fouls it back, 1-2. Yankees, with a barrage of home runs, have an 8-4 lead. They have Castro at first with 2 out. It'll be a 1-2 to Gary Sanchez. Castro is homered. Didi is homered. Austin is homered. Sanchez is homered. Now, Judge, I mean, not Sanchez. And Hicks. Pitch grounded foul on a breaking ball.
Takes his time.
Now here's the 1-2. And the breaking ball, low 2-2. So let's say the Yankees win the ball game.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
You did Tyler Austin on the leadoff spot. Mm-hmm. So would your star of the game then be Aaron Judge?
It depends. It depends on who else is trying to get Aaron Judge.
Oh, okay.
Well, I could sort of bookend Tyler Austin.
Darling, you can do whatever you want. The 2-2. Swung on. A high pop around second. Who's going to catch it? Longoria between third and second makes the catch to end the inning, but the Yankees pad their lead on the 2-run home run by Didi. 2 runs, 2 hits, 1 left. So Clippard takes the pitching cudgels here in the 8th. Here is the line on Tanaka as Luke Maile leads up and Clippard deals up high. Tanaka goes 7 innings, 4 runs, 5 hits, 8 strikeouts, no walks. He was bedeviled by Brad Miller, who hit a 3-run home run and a solo home run. And that's it. And the rest of the team, no runs, 3 hits. That'll be a 1-0 to the right-hand hitting Maile, who takes low 2-0.
And Scoreboard Update is powered by Lynx Grills, the official grill of the New York Yankees. Now let's see what's cooking around the majors. Still that one game going on. And Russell Martin
2-0's a strike.
Has just hit a 3-run home run for Toronto. Now they lead Houston 4-2 as they go to the top of the 9th. Everything else in the American League later tonight. In the National League, it's 2-0 Cubs over St. Louis as they go to the top of the 5th.
There's the 2-1. Foul back.
And the Nationals released Jonathan Papelbon. They were going to designate him for assignment to free up a spot on the 40-man, but Papelbon asked instead for his outright release since the designation process can take up to 10 days. So that would sound to me that Papelbon thinks he's going to have another job.
The 2-2. There's pop foul back. Well, that's probably true. You know, there's so many teams who are fighting for either wild card or division. That's like I think about Alex. I think someone's going to try to pick him up, and you know someone's going to pick up Papelbon. There'll be a 2-2 to the right-hand hitting Maile. And Clipper deals, swung on, and popped up behind home plate. Romine is there and makes the catch. A little bit toward the Yankee dugout. First base side of home plate, 1 away. No, 1 away. Here is Forsythe. Logan Forsythe, the right-hander, swings and misses at a Clippard fastball.
Tyler Clippard's always had that kind of funky delivery. He doesn't throw overly hard. I would bet it's very difficult, particularly for someone from the right side, to pick that up.
He kind of rocks back and fires high. A 1-1 to Forsythe. The 8th inning sponsored by Tri-State Ford, inviting you to test drive a new Ford. See why they're the total package at your local Ford dealer now, or visit us at tristateford.com. 1-1, fastball high, 2-1. Basically, Clippard is fastball splitter. I'm sure he throws a breaking ball, too.
And he rocks back and forth, and he hides the ball for a second behind him. So that would help him not be able to pick up the splitter.
And the 2-1 low, 3-1. And the 3-1. Caught on him. It's 3-2. One out, no one on. We're in the top of the 8th inning. Yankees have an 8-4 lead. Every run today, a home run on both sides. Pitch swung on, a high fly to right center, and there is Judge backpedaling to make the catch. And they're 2-0. Well, so far so good. If the Yankees get out of the 9th inning and win the game, what a seamless beginning for Austin and Judge. My goodness.
And you know what else it does? It relaxes you. You know, everybody, you want to get that first hit of any kind, never mind hitting a home run, but it relaxes you. You know, the book will get around, or the videotape, as it's called now, in 2 seconds.
Here's Kiermaier. He's a left-hand hitter. He's 1 for 3, had a bunt single. And the pitch there is a strike.
But, you know, you come up and you hit a home run. You probably feel, boy, I belong. It takes a big weight off your shoulders. And particularly someone like Tyler Austin, who's worked very hard for a long time for this.
How old a guy is Austin?
I think he's 25. He signed right out of high school.
0-1, pop fouled out of play.
Aaron Judge went to Fresno State. He's 24, but he just signed a few years ago. Tyler signed in 2010, because I remember that new outfield was going to be Mason Williams, Slade Heathcott, and Tyler Austin. And then Tyler did something to his wrist. I'm not quite sure, but he was out for a long time because of the wrist, and then stopped hitting, took him off the roster and sent him to Double-A. He was a prize. He was a big-time prospect.
0-2 is grounded in the infield to second. Castro throws to first. Kiermaier really gets down the line. He is the new Charlie Hustle. So 1-2-3. Go the walk. So the Yankees come up to hit in the bottom of the 8th inning. They lead by 4, 8-4. And the Yankees will once again see 2 of the baby bombers. Tyler Austin, Aaron Judge, and then Austin Romine as we go to the Yankee 8th. We are coming to you live from the Sunoco broadcast booth. The Sunoco Free Fuel 5000. Get the decal, get spotted, and win.
I have a question for you.
Yes, ma'am. Pitch to Tyler Austin. Breaking ball, miss.
Are these guys still baby bombers if they're here?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I guess after a year or so, they're
then
no
they're
longer...
not baby bombers.
Right. They got a bunch of them now. It's fun. It really is fun. Here's the 1-0. And that pitch is hit hard but foul outside of third. Tyler Austin has homered He homered to right field. He's a right-hand hitter. He hit it right down the line. He has struck out, then he lined a single to right. Pretty good way to break in. And the odd thing is, Judge has done the same darn thing. Pitch is low inside in the count, 2-1. I mean, if you're a Yankee or Yankee executive or Yankee fan, you have to be excited by it. And this is just the first wave. There are more coming. It'll be a 2-1. God, I missed. 2-2. Now the 2-2 is foul third base side.
Danny Farquhar he's been up and down. Danny Farquhar was a Yankee farmhand. And I know he's traded. I can't remember which deal he went to Seattle in. And now he's with Tampa. He's been up and down. This is the 5th time he's been up.
2-2 is foul back. One thing I do want to say about all this, I don't know how important this is or that is. Baseball is, first of all, a humbling game, and the trainer and Kevin Cash come out. That ball went off Maley's mask. But, Susan, it goes on, and you're going to have hot streaks and cold streaks, even if you're the best. But I would think for Judge and for Austin, it would be a great feeling, okay, this is the major leagues. I can hit up here.
Yeah.
That's what I think.
Right. I think so. And it relaxes you. I had asked Tyler Austin, and he had a bad time, really. I mean, he was a hotshot prospect, and all of a sudden they designated him, and he's off the roster and down in Trenton. And I asked him if he ever thought of quitting. He said, well, no, I've wanted this since I was 5 years old.
Now here's the 2-2. And he struck out swinging, one away. Obviously, the first strikeout for Farquhar, 10th by Tampa pitching. There's Aaron Judge, who has homered and singled and popped up. So he's 2 for 3. So Austin will finish his first day 2 for 4, 500. I wish it to him.
And a stolen base. Don't forget the stolen base.
And Judge takes a breaking ball low, 1-0.
If it sounds like we're going overboard, we're not. We've seen these kids. It's just great to see. I mean, Aaron Judge has been in camp for 2 years. We've seen him in spring training. Tyler Austin I met when he was in A-ball. It's great to see them finally get here.
And also, you hear about them. I would think the Yankee fans would be excited, too. Yeah. You hear about them, they finally see them, and you see something positive. There's a breaking ball, strike 1-1.
Danny's doesn't throw hard. That was a 77-mile-an-hour breaking ball. It almost looked like it stopped before it broke. Funky stuff.
Fastball's inside, so 2-1 on Judge.
And that was 88, and that's about as hard as he throws.
One thing you can see, whether it's in the bleachers or in the right field seats or the left field seats, people have left those seats. The 2-1 swung on a high pop off first down the right field line, and it is going to go into the seats. And I'm sure that they're cooked, they're baked.
Just 100 degrees in the sun. If you look around where the overhang is, and you look at where the concession stands are, John, and the what do you call it, those walkways, they're lined up like 5 deep. You want to stay here, you want to watch, but you can't sit in the sun. This is silly. Now Steve Donahue, they're going over to Judge. What do you think they saw? Whatever it is, they're going back.
Yeah, he sent them packing.
Yeah, he's stretching out his back a little bit. You know, he bent over to stretch out his back, and they both ran out. By the way, what about the hand when the golf cart came in at the end with Mel Stottlemyre and Joe Torre?
That's great. 2-2. Sky through his call. Judge takes a call, third strike, 2 away. Anthony Swarzak is up in the bullpen. Now, it's a 4-run lead, so it's not a save. So they have Anthony up. He's a right-hander. And I guess if he runs into trouble, then you'll see Dellin up. But they'd love to get through today without Betances and Warren, and then they would have them really ready for tomorrow. So,
well, Severino is going tomorrow.
Austin Romine fouls it back. Did they announce anything about Monday?
No, they have not. My guess is if it's somebody here, they're probably waiting to see if they need Sessa. If he doesn't pitch, I don't see why he wouldn't start. I mean, what if something happened to Tanaka and he had to come in the third inning?
0-1 is low, a 1-1.
But I would imagine they'd have to announce something by tomorrow. Because if it's not somebody here, then another roster move has to be made.
1-1, cut on and missed.
He got that up. That was 95. He was throwing it. You know, he was throwing an array of breaking pitches to Judge and to Austin.
Here's the 1-2. Just missed inside 2-2.
I guess, John, that'll probably happen because they now know after 2 swings that both of them can hit fastballs.
Well, I think that would be the scouting report on everyone coming out of the minors. Now here's the 2-2. Breaking ball is check swing foul ball. Are we okay weather-wise tomorrow, Miss Weather Girl?
Well, I didn't look, but I could look at my trusty weather app.
Please.
Okay.
I want it, the best app you have.
I would think. It doesn't. Let me look.
Because it's so beautiful now, except for being beastly hot, but it's foul. First base side. I'm just looking at the beautiful sky above, that's all.
Well, for tonight, I want you to know, it's dry, but high chance of rain this evening. Now we'll look at the forecast. Sunday, 30% chance of rain, high of 96. But that's just the forecast.
2-2 is cut on and missed. So Farquhar struck out the side. Pretty good relief pitching. He strikes out the side. 3 up feet. Yankees have an 8-4 lead as Swarzak ready to deal. Ground ball in the infield to first off the Austin glove. The throw to first is not in time and dropped anyway by Swarzak. So Austin was the only player on that side. He ranged far and the ball went off his glove. And the throw to first was late anyway. And here comes Joe Girardi. So Swarzak was allowed to throw 1 pitch. He got a ground ball. But anyway, they're going to bring in a lefty to pitch to Brad Miller, who has burned the Yankees for 2 home runs and 4 ribbies. So I want to hear one. Do I have to? I have to go to a break. I'm sorry. Left-hander Tommy Lane comes in for Miller, and the pitch is grounded to Castro. Feed DD1 on to first. Not in time. Not hit hard enough, and a long throw from Castro to Didi. But this is how you envision Tommy Lane. He's a lefty-to-lefty specialist, so he gets Miller to ground into a force. Longoria, who did get a hit, by the way, on that, if I didn't mention it, is out 4-6. 1-on-1 out. Now here's a right-hander to Matt Duffy, but Kevin Cash has righty-lefty through his lineup. So Lane comes on to pitch to 2 out of 3 lefty hitters. Matt Duffy has singled in 3 trips. And that pitching change was brought to you by the New York Lottery. Take a break from the expected. Play scratch-off games from the New York Lottery. And the pitch is strike to Duffy. Duffy, a right-hand hitter. 1 on, 1 out. Top of the 9th inning, Yanks have an 8-4 lead, and Lane goes over to first. Please stay tuned following the game for the Agera Energy New York Yankees postgame show. Agera Energy, New York's choice for retail energy supply. Visit agerafan.com for a hassle-free quote. The cute line I wanted to give you about Anthony, if I have time, this game goes so fast, the pitch is slow. to count 1-1. He threw a lot of pitches to help the Yankees win one of the games in Boston, the first of the games. And he's a guy who wants to pitch. You just tell him, I want you to pitch. I'm ready. He never declines taking the ball. Here's Lane's 1-1. Grounded foul. So I kidded him as we were going up in the elevator. I said, I hate to tell you this, Anthony, but you're pitching 5 innings tomorrow. He said, well, what do you mean you hate to tell me? I love it. So they came in here and threw one pitch. That'll be a 1-2 to Duffy. Yankees with an 8-4 lead in the 9th in this home run derby of a game. Now here's the 1-2 coming to the right-hand hitting Duffy. And a throw over. Lane deals, and the breaking ball is outside 2-2. There is a right-hand hitter on deck. Now, I would guess it is Steven Souza. It's a pinch hit for Dickerson, so there might be another pitching change. But if Lane gets Duffy out with 2 outs, I'd have him pitch to the right-hand hitter. All he could do is hit a 2-run home run, then it'd be 8-6 with 2 outs and no one on. So. Now the lefty deals, and he struck him out swinging on a breaking ball in the dirt. Duffy helped out the Yankees and Tommy Lane, so they're a 2-way. Now Steven Souza is going to hit for Dickerson. As Tampa Bay down to their final out. Yanks have an 8-4 lead as Lane tries to finish it off. Dickerson, by the way, man, the pitch to Souza, breaking ball straight. Lane, fastball, not very fast breaking ball, a true lefty specialist, but he goes after the right-hander. Anyway, Dickerson was up 3 times. He got the hat trick. He struck out 3 times. The Yankees are 1 out away, and it would be their 4th straight win, and they would go 4 games over 500, their high water mark. Then they could go for a new mark tomorrow. It'll be an 0-1 to Souza, and the pitch inside. He just got out of the way. Lane threw a fastball up and in, and Souza whirled out of the way just. I don't want you to think it was head high. It was shoulder high. However, you see a ball coming at you, you kind of get the heck out of the way. Now the lefty deals, swung on and grounded weakly to short. Didi throws to first in time. Ball game over. Yankees win. The Yankees win. So today, everything coming up roses for the Yankees. Their 2 rookies both hit home runs on their first at-bats back-to-back. And the Yankees go on to win the game 8-4. And we'll get back with more with Susan and her star of the game in just a moment on the WFAN New York Yankees Radio Network.
Planning your dream kitchen? Experience a brand new kind of appliance shopping brought to you by The Living Kitchen. Here you'll be able to get hands-on with the entire line of Sub-Zero and Wolf products in full-scale kitchen environments. This unique experience allows you to plan, compare, and imagine your kitchen in ways you've never been able to do before. Once you've been inspired by all that your new kitchen can be, our specialists will help you turn your dreams into a reality. Come see us today at The Living Kitchen, located inside Gringer & Sons at 29 First Avenue in Manhattan, or visit gringerandsons.com.
Savino and Barnes, injury attorneys, 800-888-8888.
Don't wait. Call 8.